Welcome back to the YouTube. Today, what we're going to do is a little bit of a add-on to the sales video, the sales script video on how to actually set up your sales funnel. This is a little bit of an extra step that a lot of people do need in order to capture people's data, follow up with people who have calls and who potentially don't turn up to calls to maximize the chances of someone turning up to a call with you and actually keep the lead excited from the point where they decide to have the call to actually being on the call, because that period realistically is the time where you're more likely going to lose the lead. It's when they've already booked the call and the conversation's over, and then they start thinking, do I really want to jump on the phone with this cunt? You want them to think, yes, I do want to turn up. Now, the time in the business that you have, like your results, your authority with your audience will dictate some of this. What we want to do is have a process that maximizes that so that we get as many people on the phone who want to speak to us as possible. So that's why we have the sales funnel. Now, the first step of that sales funnel is having some sort of application form. Again, this will depend on how many leads that you get and how good your sales process is. If you are very, very new, name, email, phone number, no more. You want to maximize the amount of people who get on a call with you. You don't want to make them jump through too many hoops. You want to practice your sales process, which means sometimes getting on the phone with people who aren't perfect. That will mean sometimes getting on the phone with people who can't afford your service, but you will get better at sales calls. And I think it's actually good practice in a coaching business to get good at that stuff and to not be overly picky about who you have calls with. However, as your diary starts getting full and you want to maximize the amount of good leads you get on the call, you would want to then bridge out that form a little bit more. So that could go from name, email, phone number to name, email, phone number. What is your reason for reaching out? Okay, why have you decided now is the right time to take action on this? And then if you want to take it even a step further and you're getting a lot of people turn up to calls and be like, no, I can't afford it. I was never going to be able to afford that. You want to eliminate that. This is probably the one that's going to drop off your success rate the most, but it will also mean your success rate on calls is higher if you have something that says, say, for example, you're £200 a month. By ticking this box, I understand that services start from £200 a month. You're not asking them to make a commitment. And I prefer that than like, are you willing to make an investment of 200 quid a month? Because they don't know that yet. And some people can interpret that as like, are you going to pay this money on the phone? Whereas if you just say you're ticking this box to understand that prices start from that amount, you get one or two things. You're going to get people who tick the box and then it's your job to make them see the value in the program, or they're not going to book a call because they can't afford it. I don't really like this whole, oh, well, it's £25 a week or it's X amount per day. Because then you're just counting on the fact that fuckers can't do maths. And like people have calculators on the phone the whole time. And if you can't do 8 by 30, like I probably don't want you as a client. So I don't, imagine trying to like, oh, well, maybe they'll get it wrong. And then you're trying to get them to calculate the macros. And like, come on now. This isn't like some remedial sales process. Like we want people who understand, that the price point is what it is. If you're getting a lot of people that's dropping off, just take it off and handle it on the call until you find a happy medium between the two. But that's the kind of shortest and longest I would have an application form. All right. So either name, email, phone number or name, email, phone number. Why? Why now? You could potentially even go as far as why us, like why have you decided to apply for our coaching program, and then some kind of price qualifier. I always prefer, again, there's lots of other ways to do this. I prefer by ticking this box, you acknowledge that our packages start from whatever it is. Okay. And it would be your smallest payment. So if you do split pay, monthly pay and paid in full, you would just put your monthly payment option down. And then if people have that in the bank, they can get started with you and then it's good. The next thing then you want is for that form to automatically save those details and then redirect to your call booking software. Okay. I've actually worked with a lot of coaches who have quite big businesses that do this step manually, and it boggles me every time because it's just adding time in between the process of like, right, the form's filled in. Do not wait to manually then reach out and be like, hey, I got your application form. Do you want to book a call in? Just take it to the call booking stage. People are filling in application forms because they're ready and motivated to apply for your service. You want them to get that call booked in immediately. All right. If they don't book a call in, then you can follow it up and say like, oh, did you not find the right time? Is there an issue? Like, is there a reason why you didn't book a call? And you can follow that process up. But most people automatically go through that process and book a call. Okay. That's fairly easy. Tips about call booking. Try and have a good range of times. Try and not get them to book a call more than 3 days in advance. So I generally only have my calendar open. We have 5 days so we can handle a weekend, and also we book like 30 to 40 calls a week. So we need to have that volume in so our sales staff can handle it. But for most people, I think 3 days, 5 days if it's a weekend, is probably the maximum you want a lead waiting to get a call, because again, there's just a natural percentage drop off of people who turn up after that point. You want people on when they're ready. If they don't and they say, oh, it's because I'm on holiday till X, then you can just book them in manually after you follow them up. But the automatic procedure, you want them to book in within 3 working days. After the call is booked, what you would then want is a thank you page. You want it to redirect them to a thank you page. Now, we have a very specifically drawn out one with lots of objection handling. However, that may be a little bit much for somebody in your situation to get right. What I would just do is one solid video. If I was just starting out, I would have one solid video that describes the call, that describes where they need to be, how to take the call, what we're going to go through on the call, and tells them a little bit about the service so they don't turn up clueless. All right. Now, to go through all those points, it would probably take me a while. What I've done is I've actually put it, well, I say I've done, me and Josh, who's our copywriter, have turned it into a little script for you. So I'll put the link below. You can put in your email and you can get access to that script, get it sent over to you. And then you can use that as a basis. As part of our coaching program, we do a little bit more of in-depth one. We have like 7 videos and some testimonials and some FAQs and stuff like that. I think for most of you, just get the video done. It'll probably be the first time you've ever filmed a video that you're going to use like this. So spend your time getting that one right. Just put it on a standard web page. Okay, standard web page. Thanks for booking your call. Please watch the video. You can use ClickFunnels, you can use lead pages, you could use a Squarespace site. You could even use Notion if you wanted to do it for free. There's loads of options for you. We have our own software that we give our clients that has all these pre-built in for them. If you're watching this video after January 2023, you'll be able to get access to that. Anyway, just look on our socials at Steve McGrath on Instagram. You'll be able to find it on there. If you're watching it pre that, it won't be available to public. It'll only be for our clients. So you'll just have to use one of the other options I've given you. But that thank you page and that video will let people know a little bit more about the call. It's very professional, so it gets a lot of buy-in from them, and you will know at that point whether that lead's good. All right. The final thing you want to do is you want to have a follow-up sequence. So whatever call booking software you have, again, after January 2023, you'll be able to use ours. But if you're using something like Calendly or Acuity or something like that, you'd want to set follow-up reminders. The first follow-up, I would send the thank you page again. So I would say like, hey, X, whatever your name is. Hey, John, thanks for booking the call. Just to make sure that you managed to watch this video before the call, I'll give you some information about what we're going to speak about. Looking forward to speaking to you. The next one, I would let them know 24 hours before the call, like, hey, just checking the time. It's this time. If I don't hear back from either of those 2 messages, my team will ring them 24 hours before the call to confirm, okay, that they're actually going to take the call at the time that's agreed. Okay, so we'll physically phone their phone and be like, hey, so Katie does it for us. Katie will be like, hey, it's Katie from Collective Coaching. Just double checking that you're going to make your time tomorrow. We're just making sure that people have confirmed. Yep, great. All right, well, we'll speak to you then. What she'll also do at that point is if they've managed to get through this process and the questions aren't quite right, she'll double check the form with them to make sure they're in a position to work with us. And if they're not, if anything flags up that there's no point taking the call because it's not going to go forward, then we'll just leave the call there. But that's quite advanced. I was just throwing that out as what we do. For you, just want to make sure they're taking the call. So you're hoping to get responses out of these 2. You would then want to set a reminder an hour before the call. So, hey, John, it's X. I'm going to be on this link at this time. Looking forward to speaking to you. Chat to you soon. All right. And that is a full sales funnel, top to bottom. That's actually fairly robust. A lot of businesses won't have that. So if you have that in place very, very early in your coaching career, your call booking to call show rate should be very, very good. And that'll allow you to obviously maximize the amount of sales calls you actually take, which will make you better at sales. So it will improve your skill. And also it'll just improve the amount of sales that you make just because you'll get more people on the phone. So hopefully that was useful for you. Don't forget to go back and watch the other sales video if you haven't already. And then once you've got this in place, then you would want to start going through a process of how to advance that. And if you want to do that, just make sure you watch the rest of the videos we come out twice a week. I'd probably hazard a guess. twice or 3 times a week. It depends on how generous I'm being. 3 times a week, I've just been told. So if you want to make sure you get those, subscribe to the channel that way, and press the notification bell on top to make sure you get told. Thank you very much.